Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we'll start again.
Right. Okay.
I'd like to introduce Anne from France, who has multiple sclerosis. Welcome, Anne.
Thank you.
Could you tell us when you first started to notice MS symptoms?
I first started to notice MS symptoms when I was in my mid-30s.
Mm-hmm. And what were they?
They were urgency, left foot dragged a bit, and a lot of eye pain, optic neuritis, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And when were you finally diagnosed?
Yeah, I was finally diagnosed because I went to an optician because I had lost the being able to see red, the colour red, and he said to me, "Oh, I think you need to go and see your doctor." So he obviously knew what it was. Well, I knew as well, I suppose. So I went to the doctor who sent me off to a neurologist, and they diagnosed it, which was in 1981.
Right. So how did your MS behave between 1981 and when you found LDN?
Yeah, I had very odd sort of behaviour, really, because it was so different. You know, the relapses were so different. Sometimes it would be eyes that were very much affected. Mm-hmm. Other times it would be legs, walking and things like that, very wobbly and losing balance, and a lot of urgency, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Were you having a lot of pain at that time?
Yeah, I had a lot of pain too.
I was just trying to remember what you told me earlier. So what about fatigue?
Well, fatigue was one of the main things, really, because I was teaching at the time, and once or twice, and I think my lessons must have been more boring than I realised, I went to sleep in my own lesson.
And what about cognitive problems?
Well, yes, I think that I did have those as well. I was doing an MSc as well, and I noticed that I couldn't do the mental gymnastics that I used to be able to, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was different.
So how did you hear about LDN?
I read about LDN in the magazine New Pathways,
mm-hmm.
and it seemed to be a good thing to try, so I thought, right, have a go, and I was very glad I did.
Okay. How easy was it for you to obtain a prescription?
It was very difficult, actually, because no one would give me a prescription until I went privately to a neurologist, and I was in a lot of pain at the time, and he didn't know what to do to help, really. And I asked him, what about trying this? You know, there's no harm in giving it a go. And he
mm-hmm.
said, right, well, you go ahead. And he would write me a prescription.
Wow.
So that was great. I was really, really overjoyed by that. And I got the prescription, took it to the pharmacy, no problem in getting it filled, and it was fine. Yeah. And after that, my doctor wrote one every time I needed it.
Mm-hmm. What year did you start LDN?
I think it was in about 1983. I think. What are we now? 2011, aren't we?
Mm.
No, it wasn't then. I'm so sorry. It must have been about 2001.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you first started, did you notice any introductory side effects?
I didn't notice any side effects except that the pain was much less.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so grateful for that, you know. I thought, because I was always convinced right from the beginning, when I didn't really believe that I couldn't really believe it, you know, that multiple sclerosis must be joking. But then when I did think, oh, well, I had it, I thought, I've been confronted with lots of problems in my life. I've always overcome them. So I'm going to overcome this as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the ways of helping me to overcome it, and I was so glad.
So what would you say LDN has done for you?
Well, it got rid of the pain,
mm-hmm.
But I can't speak for everyone, of course. But it helped me a lot in that way, and I was so very grateful to it for that.
Did it help with any of your other symptoms?
It didn't really help with fatigue because I just got as tired as I was before, I think. But maybe a little less.
What about your bladder?
No, it didn't help that.
And what about cognitively?
I would like to say that it helped, but unfortunately, no.
Okay. So really what it's done for you is helped with pain?
Yes.
Yeah. What would you say to other people who are contemplating trying LDN?
I would say definitely try it, And if you can't find that your local GP will write a prescription for you, then perhaps do as I did and go privately to a neurologist and say you wanted to give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I don't think so. I think that... sorry.
That's all right. This bit can be taken out, so...
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But you can't think of anything else?
No, I think that family, people knowing that there was something there, my family and myself, I mean, there was something great about that, knowing that Dr. Bob, actually helped in that respect was great. It was wonderful support.
Mm-hmm. Right. I don't think there's anything else I could ask you then.